Tonight, Anakin Skywalker returns, Batman becomes an immortal legend, Switch 2 keeps its price point, and we get the backstory of a famous chocolate maker. All that and more in this edition of Multiverse Tonight. Welcome to Multiverse Tonight, your source for geek news. We dissect films, games, comics, and much more, bringing you insightful commentary on pop culture. This is Multiverse Tonight. Now, here's your host, Thomas Town. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 238 of Multiverse Tonight. I'm, of course, your host, Thomas Townley. And, well, we had some rain, finally. When you're in a drought, rain is a good thing. And we actually got a fairly decent amount, just an inch and a half, over 2 days, which is, great. That keeps things moist and growing for a while, and we've got some more storms in the forecast. Anyway, I've been spending some time getting familiar with an old miniseries, V, the original miniseries from the 1980s. It's pretty much based on a book from 1934, I think, called "It Can't Happen Here." It's basically, aliens come down and they say they're here to help, and then they accuse scientists of a conspiracy and basically take over the whole planet, and they gotta be stopped. But I think, I know they remade this show back in 2009 on ABC. I think this could be brought back as a comic book series or an animated series. Would be great. It's a great show if done right. I've been enjoying that. But other than that, I really don't have a lot of other news to tell you. So let's go on to the Star Wars news.
Roger, Roger.
And we begin Star Wars news with Electronic Arts and Lucasfilm, which are teaming up for Star Wars Zero Company, a new single-player turn-based tactics game set during the Clone Wars era of the Star Wars universe. Developed by Bit Reactor in collaboration with Respawn Entertainment and Lucasfilm Games, in Star Wars Zero Company, players will step into the shoes of Hawks, a former Republic officer, to command an elite squad of cunning operatives through a gritty and authentic story set in the twilight of the Clone Wars era. As an unconventional outfit of professionals for hire hailing from across the galaxy, Zero Company must set aside their differences to overcome nearly impossible odds and take on emerging threats that will consume the galaxy if left unchecked. Now, the game, which was revealed at Star Wars Celebration Japan this past weekend, will include a cast of new Star Wars characters that are alterable within a player's squad. Hawk's appearance and combat classes can be fully customized, while recruited operatives can be personalized from a range of original Star Wars characters, classes, and species, including clone troopers, astromechs, and even a Jedi, according to Bit Reactor. Star Wars Zero Company will be released in 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S consoles. In a statement, Bit Reactor CEO and creative director Greg Forsyth said, quote, "Our vision for Star Wars Zero Company is grounded in gameplay design pillars that weave in the immersive Star Wars galaxy with engaging turn-based tactics gameplay. It's our aim to deliver a game with an original Star Wars story, the Clone Wars era, that has meaningful outcomes from player choices and deep turn-based tactical combat and an approachable and cinematic presentation." Ahsoka Season 2 also received updates at Star Wars Celebration. 18 months after the Season 1 finale of the acclaimed Star Wars series Ahsoka, fans were treated to exciting news at Star Wars Celebration Tokyo. Not only were 2 teasers for the highly anticipated Season 2 revealed, but major casting announcements and plot points were also discussed. Among those is Hayden Christensen's return. One of the biggest revelations was his return as Anakin Skywalker. Anakin, who was Ahsoka's Jedi Master before the fall of the Jedi, has a complex and emotional charged relationship with her. His return promises to delve deeper into their bond and explore the lingering impact of their shared past. In a bittersweet announcement, it was also revealed that Rory McCann, known for his powerful performance as Sandor the Hound Clegane in Game of Thrones, will be taking over the role of the villainous Jedi Baylan Skoll. The role was originally played by Ray Stevenson, who tragically passed away in May 2023 before the first season aired. Ahsoka's creator Dave Filoni and actress Rosario Dawson, who plays Ahsoka, expressed their admiration for McGann's intensity and felt he was the perfect choice to fill Stevenson's shoes. Fans were also thrilled to learn that Admiral Ackbar, a beloved character from the original Star Wars trilogy, will be returning in Season 2 of Ahsoka. As promised by Dave Filoni, Ackbar will face off against Grand Admiral Thrawn, setting the stage for an epic clash between two of the most brilliant military minds in the Star Wars universe. With Season 2 set to begin production next week, anticipation is at an all-time high. The first season ended on a cliffhanger with Grand Admiral Thrawn jumping to hyperspace and Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra stranded on Peridia. Thrawn's ultimate goal is to restore the fallen galactic empire and crush the fledgling New Republic, setting the stage for a galaxy-spanning conflict. The return of Anakin Skywalker, the introduction of Rory McCann as Baylan Skoll, and the impending showdown between Admiral Ackbar and Thrawn promises to make Ahsoka Season 2 an unforgettable chapter in the Star Wars saga. As production gears up, fans eagerly await the continuation of Ahsoka's journey and the next chapter in the ongoing battle between the light and dark sides of the Force. And here are some more big announcements that came out of Star Wars Celebration 2025. Ray Park is returning as Darth Maul in Maul Shadow Lord. At the end of a panel focusing on the 20th anniversary of Lucasfilm animation, the attendees were surprised with a trailer for the new animated series Maul Shadow Lord. Sam Witwer, who has voiced Maul for multiple projects, will be returning to play the title role. The series takes place before the events of Star Wars Rebels and will follow Maul as he trains as a Padawan. Also, Star Wars Starfighter, the previously unnamed Star Wars film helmed by Sean Levy and starring Ryan Gosling, has a new name and release date. Star Wars Starfighter will release in theaters on May 28th, 2027. Now, it's an interesting choice for release date because it's only a few months away from the release of another Disney blockbuster, Avengers: Secret Wars. Now, no specific details were revealed, although we know Starfighter is a standalone film removed from the Skywalker saga. The film takes place approximately 5 years after the events of 2019's The Rise of Skywalker. Gosling said in a statement, quote, "The reality is that this script is just so good. It has such a great story with great and original characters. It's filled with so much heart and adventure, and there's just really is not much a more perfect filmmaker than this particular story than Sean." Also, a sizzle reel of The Mandalorian and Grogu was unveiled, opening on a firefight in an AT-AT where Din Djarin swiftly eliminates a squad of snowtroopers using just about everything in his arsenal. We hear Sigourney Weaver's voice, "messy," and then we cut to Weaver saying, "very messy." Weaver seems to be playing some kind of officer in the New Republic in charge of giving Din Djarin assignments. Among the rest of the highlights, we see AT-ATs in the snow landscape, Grogu swimming, Grogu using the Force to destroy a droid, and Jeremy Allen White's Rhoda the Hutt in some kind of gladiatorial battle while Grogu watches. The Mandalorian and Grogu hits theaters May 22nd, 2026. Lucasfilm announced the release date of Star Wars Visions Volume 3 and a new spin-off series, The Ninth Jedi, at the Star Wars Celebration. Now, Visions Volume 3 will debut with 9 episodes on October 29th. The Ninth Jedi is a spin-off of an earlier Volume 1 story and will feature longer stories than the animated shorts. The Ninth Jedi follows Cara, the daughter of a lightsaber smith, on a dangerous mission. Visions Volume 3 episode Child of Hope continues Cara's story and leads to the Ninth Jedi following her father's footsteps. Kenji Kaneyama is the supervising director for the Ninth Jedi and will reveal the secrets of the Force-based color-changing sabers. And in a collaboration with Fortnite, featuring Darth Jar Jar in a galactic battle season starting May 2nd, Fortnite's Star Wars-themed Battle Pass will include Emperor Palpatine, Mace Windu-themed map locations, and weekly gameplay content. A live end-of-season narrative set event will conclude the 5-part Fortnite saga in early June. A new in-game Force ability, Force Lightning, will be added to Fortnite. The Fortnite event will have weekly themes. Imperial Takeover starts May 2nd. The Pull of the Force begins May 8th. Mandalorian Rising begins May 22nd. And Star Wars Destroyer Bombardment May 29th, with Death Star Sabotage on June 7th. LEGO is celebrating Star Wars Day on May the 4th, 2025, with the release of 9 new LEGO Star Wars sets and various promotional offers, including the rumored $1,000 Death Star set, which will not be included in the May 4th release, although it is rumored for an October 1st release. The 2,970-piece Jango Fett's Fire Spray Starship will be the flagship release. Now, several sets can be pre-ordered now, but it's recommended to wait until the official release date of May 1st to take advantage of promotional offers. New sets include Jango Fett's Fire Spray class Starship, a 2,970-piece set costing $299.99, a Chopper Astromech Droid, a 1,039-piece set retailing for $99.99, Jango Fett's Helmet, a 616-piece set costing $69.99, a Rebel U-Wing Starfighter, a 594-piece set costing $69.99, the Kylo Ren helmet consisting of 529 pieces for $69.99, the brick-built Star Wars logo at $59.99, Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle, a 386-piece set for $69.99, a Brickhead's Revenge of the Sith Heroes and Villains 656-piece set for $49.99, and the Brickhead's Luke Skywalker Rebel Pilot, a 138-piece set for $9.99. Now let's go on to the Marvel Comics news. And we begin Marvel news with Daredevil Born Again showrunner Dario Scaradapine recently taking to Instagram to thank his teams for the season 1 finale and also to tease that season 2 of the Disney Plus Marvel Studios series will premiere in March of 2026. The second season is currently shooting. He said in the statement, quote, "It's all led up to this, such a mix of emotions as we close out season 1. So grateful for the cast, crew, and studio for their confidence and indulgence. Biggest of thanks to Sana, Brad, Kevin, Lou, Aaron, Justin, Charlie, Vincent, Deb, John, and the whole Mad Circus. And yeah, season 2, March 2026. Now, separately from Daredevil Born Again, John Barenthal has a MCU Disney Plus special of The Punisher in the works that he is co-writing with filmmaker Ronaldo Marcus Green. Now, let's go on to the DC Comics news. And DC Comics news begins with DC having a welcoming surprise up their sleeve for C2E2, bringing some cosmic chaos to one of its biggest heroes. During the Kyle Higgins President's Radiant Black, the Massive Verse, and more panel at C2E2, DC revealed a new Batman Elseworlds series titled Immortal Legend Batman. It features the talented team of Kyle Higgins, Matt Groom, Dan Mora, Erica D'Urso, colorist Igor Monti, and letterer Becca Carey. Now, this is not your usual Batman story, as it takes place in the future and features a bevy of new tech for the Dark Knight to take advantage of. Immortal Legend Batman takes place centuries from now in a world where humanity has managed to create megacities across multiple planets. To do that, they had to harness dark matter, and in the process, they broke the barrier to this universe's shadow. That brought about the creation of mindless and soulless apparitions known as shadows. This almost brought down everything, but 3 heroes were able to tap into the energy that joined their world to the Shadow World and become immortal legends in the process. Those heroes are Batman, Robin, and Nightwing. And we'll see in the series, Mora gave Batman, Robin, and Nightwing some truly out-of-this-world designs for the galaxy-wide adventure. Higgins said in the quote, "Certain projects are the perfect storm of timing, idea, and creative team. Immortal Legend Batman has been years in the making, dating back to stunning designs that Matt and I first saw from Dan Mora. Obviously, we have a love and appreciation for Tokusatsu and its influence on our books like Radiant Black and Inferno Girl Red. The opportunity to bring that love to a very unique version of Gotham and very unique versions of these characters with Matt, Mora, Igor, and Becca, along with our editor Matt Levine, who we worked with on Power Rangers, makes this beyond a perfect storm. Batman is fiction's greatest hero, and we wanted to find a way to take everything that's so great about him, his immense determination, resilience, and selfishness, and explore it in a totally new way, said Groom. So we're taking Batman to the stars, turning him into a wandering hero, exploring humanity's final frontier, and searching out deadly threats he inadvertently released upon the galactic community. Now, Immortal Legend Batman clearly draws inspiration from science fiction as well as Japanese takatsu stories that makes this team a perfect fit, as they would have plenty of experiences with worlds with their work in Power Rangers, Ultraman, and the Massiverse. Here's the log line, quote, "Many centuries from now, humanity becomes a galactic civilization with capital megacities on multiple planets and smaller outposts on dozens more. To conquer the vast distances between solar systems, humanity has tapped into dark matter to bend space-time around spacecraft, from hulking colony ships to one-man mech suits. In accessing this dark power, humanity broke the barrier between their universe and their universe's shadow. This resulted in the creation of shadows, mindless, soulless apparitions craving nothing but violence and destruction. Due to the actions of these shadow creatures, newly colonized worlds were brought into the brink of collapse. But three warriors found a way to access the energy that bound their universe to the Shadow Universe, becoming Immortal Legends. Immortal Legend Batman, Immortal Legend Robin, and Immortal Legend Nightwing. Immortal Legend Batman will be available for pre-order starting on Friday, May 23rd, and will arrive in comic book stores and digital retailers on Wednesday, August 27th. And with that, let's go on to the geek news. Following an initial delay, Nintendo has set the pre-order date for its Switch 2 console as April the 24th, just this week. The Japan-based company has also decided to keep the upcoming product's cost at the previously announced $449.99 amid market concerns surrounding President Trump's tariff policies, but it's hiking the price of accessories because of, quote, market conditions. The pricing for the Switch 2's tentpole launch titles, Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, will remain at their respective $79.99 and $69.99, respectively, as they were first revealed April 2nd. Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart bundle, which is priced at $409.09, the Switch 2 and related products are set to ship June 5th, as previously announced. We have a cause of death for former Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Gossip Girl star Michelle Trachtenberg. Following a review of laboratory test results, it was determined that Trachtenberg died naturally as a result of complications from diabetes mellitus, according to the New York City Office of Chief Medical Examiner told Deadline in a statement. Trachtenberg was found unresponsive in her Midtown Manhattan apartment on February 26th. Paramedics pronounced her dead at the scene. No foul play was suspected. She was 39 years old. The coroner's office initially said her cause of death would remain undetermined because the family had requested that no autopsy be conducted because of religious reasons. The medical examiner's office would automatically do an autopsy if foul play or criminality was suspected, but there was none, so the office did not overrule the family's decision. Following the lab test results, the medical examiner's office amended the cause of death. As they say in the Highlander franchise, there could be only one. And in the case of the list reimagining from the new home of Amazon MGM Studios, United Artists, sources tell Deadline that United Artists and Scott Stubber are in final negotiations to secure rights to a new version of Highlander based on the 1980s cult classic. The film would star Henry Cavill with John Wick director Chad Stahelski helming and would be released in theaters. Michael Finch, from John Wick Chapter 4, is penning the screenplay. UA's Stubber and Nick Nesbitt will produce alongside Neil H. Moritz and A711 Entertainment, Zaleski's production banner, UA has secured full rights to the franchise, which Lionsgate developed with potential to also develop a new series. Sources close to the situation say at the end of the day, Zaleski's vision for the film fit better than into the Amazon model, but add that it's a big win for all parties. The original Highlander in 1986 starred Christopher Lambert and Sean Connery and portrayed the climax of an ancient battle between immortal warriors unfolding through interwoven past and present day storylines. After steadily growing in popularity upon its release, the film spawned multiple sequels, a TV series, and an enduring fan base. Russell Malay directed the original film, which was produced by Pierre S. Davis and William N. Panzer. A live action Pacific Rim television series from Eric Heiser, based on Legendary's epic giant robot film franchise, is in development at Amazon, according to Deadline.com. Legendary will produce the series as the lead studio for Prime Video with Amazon MGM Studios. As we previously reported, the project has been in development at Legendary. It is the inaugural project of the Legendary First Look television deal with Oscar-nominated Heiserer and his Chronology banner. Heiserer will serve as writer and executive producer of the series. Twisted Metal is racing toward its return to Peacock for season 2, and the streamer has finally revealed when episodes will be available. Per the release date teaser on Thursday, season 2 will debut on July 31st. The teaser doesn't give away much more about the season than had already been released in previous trailers, but we know that Raven, played by Nev Campbell, has been grooming Anthony Mackie's John Doe for the sinister Twisted Metal tournament, which looks to be about as lovely as it sounds. The teaser does also feature a glimpse at Calypso, the man who hosts the tournament, as well as the signature laugh from Sweet Tooth, the terrifying clown. In a recent interview with Business Insider, J.C. Lee, Stan Lee's daughter, denied the allegations of elder abuse against her parents. These claims were initially brought up in a 2018 Hollywood Reporter article, which detailed alleged financial abuse and exploitation by several individuals, including a business manager introduced to Lee by J.C. The article also accused J.C. of physically abusing her parents. J.C. vehemently denied these accusations, saying that she never touched her parents and regretted not publicly denying them in 2018. She believes that her father was financially exploited and that those responsible are still benefiting from it. The Hollywood Reporter article was published less than a year after Stanley's wife, Joan Bucock, passed away, and 6 months before Lee's own death in January of 2018. It led to criminal elder abuse charges against Lee's former business manager, K.F. Morgan, which were later dropped. The article also highlighted Gerardo Olivares, a business manager recommended by JC, whom Lee sued before his death. While the allegations against JC were never resulted in charges, they were severe. She was portrayed as spoiled and entitled, often fighting with her parents over money and property. The article's claim of physical violence allegedly stemmed from a 2014 incident where JC allegedly attacked her parents after discovering that her new Jaguar was leased in her father's name. JC admitted to having a temper and frequently screaming at her parents, but maintained that she never physically harmed them. Her former business partner, James McLean, added that screaming was a common part of the family dynamic. JC now believes that some of the people who managed her father's business interests and finances towards the end of his life took advantage of the situation and enriched themselves, leaving her without the inheritance she expected. So, it's, a he said, she said type of deal. Universal Pictures and DreamWorks Animation have dated the original animated feature Forgotten Island for September 26, 2026. The pick is directed and written by Joel Crawford and Januel Mercado. Details are being kept secret, but the project is billed as a broad party comedy that transports its characters into a long-forgotten magical island rooted in Philippine mythology. The film will also mark the directorial debut for Mercado, who served as co-director in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and head of story for Crawford on The Croods: A New Age. Forgotten Story will be produced by Crawford's longtime collaborator, Mark Swift. Currently, Forgotten Island is the only wide entry on the final weekend of September 2026. The movie will open in the wake of an untitled Warner Brothers movie and Sony's Zach Krager's Resident Evil on September 18th. The story behind one of the most famous chocolate companies in the world will be told in a live action movie, Hershey, starring Finn Wittrock and Alexandra Daddario, and directed by Mean Girls and Freaky Friday Helmer Mark Waters. But wait, there's s'more. The movie will begin filming in May across Pennsylvania and is targeting a 2026 release. The film does not have a distributor yet. Now, Whitrock will play Milton Hershey, who, alongside his wife Kitty, built a candy empire that powered a philanthropic legacy. In 1909, Milton and Kitty founded the Hershey Industrial School, which provided free education and housing to orphans and underprivileged children. 20 years before his death, Milton transferred the majority of his fortune into the Milton Hershey School Trust, planting the seed for one of the wealthiest educational endowments in the country. In developing a town around their chocolate factory, the Hersheys also built theaters, recreation centers, and public transportation for their workers. Hershey hails from Dandelion Media in partnership with the Hershey entities and in association with Allo Entertainment, Peachtree Group, and RCM3. UTA Independent Film Group is representing worldwide rights, and a release is planned for 2026, aligning with America's 250th anniversary. Mark Waters said in a statement, quote, "Against all odds, Milton achieved great success, and unlike a lot of other wealthy men of his time, he shared the success with the working people and community around him. The core of Hershey, the movie, will be the special love story between Milton and Catherine Hershey, who inspired his greatest legacy, the creation of Milton Hershey School. I am excited to have Finn Wittrock and Alexandra Daddario to portray these two visionaries who believed in leaving the world a better place than they found it. The kind of wonderful true story that audiences are hungry for right now." And finally tonight, Paramount Pictures will theatrically distribute around the globe the Angry Birds movie, The 3, on June 29th, 2027. The studio also has this date on hold in CinemaScore for a family event film. Now, the previous two movies were released by Sony and grossed a combined $500 million at the global box office. Angry Birds 3 sees voiceover cast members Jason Sudeikis, Josh Gad, Rachel Bloom, and Danny McBride reprising their roles as Red, Chuck, Silver, and Bomb. Rovio and Sega will produce alongside Namit Malhotra and his production company, Prime Focus Studios, in partnership with Flywheel Media, One Cool Group, and Dentsu. They'll be joined by new cast members including Emma Myers, Kiki Palmer, Tim Robinson, Lily James, Marcelo Hernandez, Walker Scobell, Sam Richardson, Anna Cathcart, Maitreya Rickermanson, Nikki Glazer, James Austin Johnson, and Sam West. And with that, we come to the end of our show for today. Now, please be sure to check us out on social media. We're at Blue Sky and Twitter at Multiverse Tom, Threads, Facebook, and Instagram as well at Multiverse Tonight. And if you've gotten some value out of the show and like to pay it back, head on over to multiversetonight.com, where you'll find our Patreon and Ko-fi links. Check out our show notes, visit our TeePublic store, where you can also leave some feedback, and so much more. And if this is your first time listening, thank you very much. Please hit the subscribe button and share us with others. Now, thanks to Hot Dope for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the outro theme music. Thanks for watching this edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more sci-fi and comic book news. Now, please exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. Multiverse Tonight is a production of Half Baked John Productions. Copyright 2025. All rights reserved. This podcast is brought to you by the Pop Culture Network. Find more about it at popculture